Everyone thinks when we talk about HIV, it has to be this traumatic thing. And trauma is part of the experience and the journey, but also HIV has brought so much joy and happiness and love to my life. I wouldn't change it for the world. My name is Robbie Lawler. I just turned 31 and I am a PhD candidate in Dublin City University. I also co-found Access to Medicines Ireland because I'm really interested in equitable access to health technologies around the world. I was diagnosed in 2012. I cannot believe it's nearly a decade ago. That's like 1/3 of my life. And I think Ireland has changed so much within those years, and with it has been this momentum of people understanding HIV a bit more, understanding what it's like to live with HIV. I always say we live in the golden era of HIV. I just take one pill a day to keep the concentrations of that medicine at a certain level where HIV remains asleep. And what it also means that I cannot pass on HIV sexually. The risk is zero. When I was diagnosed with HIV back in 2012, there was this a support organisation called Open Heart House. And I remember reading the paper and it says, Open Heart House is closing. And let me tell you, people who were service users of Open Heart House were crushed. That was the only community that they thought that they had. That led me to want to provide peer support for people in this country. The arts was a brilliant medium in which we could collect everyone's stories and bring them to an audience that maybe wouldn't hear the normal HIV messaging. And the play that we made was called Rapids. Then the Irish Arts Council gave us funding to turn it into a movie called How to Tell a Secret. Another thing that I've been working on, myself and Vida, who was also in How to Tell a Secret, the movie we're playing, we set up a podcast.
The idea to do a podcast had been floating around in the ether, and I had become obsessed with the idea of doing a pausecast, a HIV positive podcast. And I was on the lookout for someone who knew a lot more about HIV than me, because what I knew was my own experience. So I jumped straight in and said, we should do a podcast together, to platform the stories of other people like us living with HIV. And he texted me back immediately saying, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Doesn't matter if the audience of 2 people or 500 people, we're there to share our stories and to answer any questions around HIV. And Vida is a singer, comedian. It's a real performance. It's educational, it's fun, it's just a win-win situation.